Alright, let's take a look at the market recap, I suppose. Let's do that. Okay, so I know the market hasn't closed yet, but I am just going to take a look here. So anyways, I do these market recaps just to see my predictability, how things are going so far. So this is going to be a recap on the week of February 7th to the end of this week. So these are just some that I have my eye on. If there is a green arrow on it, that's where I think people should buy or I should buy or something like that. And, you know, I just end up tracking these. So AMD. AMD, I always start with AMD for some reason. So over here, I predicted that, you know, it's going to go back down just because of the volume associated with this down day. You know, there's a lot of profit taking. Matter of fact, I kind of forgot to put an arrow here. Come on. I started putting down arrows on the days that I think is going to have a reversal, if you will. So I forgot to do that this time. Alright, so arrows behind that, but whatever. I'm just going to do this like that. So anyway, so AMD, I don't think it'll keep climbing up. It could very well climb up if this occurs, and let me just show you. Come on. Okay. So if this consolidation period ends up doing like something like this, and you have like a little bit of a pennant area, and then the next day ends up breaking through the high of the recent high of 14.27, it could carry into a momentum, especially if it passes that 50-cent mark at 14.50. You know, you could see some movement all the way back up. So this one we're just gonna have to wait and see. I think I might set an alert for 14.50 on this one, but right now I'm kind of predicting that it's gonna start heading back down towards the roughly $12. Let's see. Anyway, around this area, I'm thinking around 11.56, somewhere around there, from this consolidation period. I mean, it could reverse here at the 12.41 mark because this was the high on this day. So, you know, if it does reverse, it can find support here at that price, at the roughly 12.43 or something. Alright, GLBS, if y'all remember, I was just monitoring this one in case Dries had a jump up or whatever. And I said that on the 7th. And what is that? 7th would be this day, so I was hoping to see Dries do something, but it obviously didn't. I don't see any big volume coming up. Oh, well, maybe right here on the 6th again. But anyways, this was more of a day trading type of thing because you had some pretty good volume associated with it, so I was hoping for a sympathy play off of GLBS or SEAS and stuff like that, you know, other shippers. BioC was, you know, what is this day? On the 2nd. So last week I put a buy signal here just because of these consecutive dojis. It kind of seemed like if a reversal were to happen, one, it's near the Fibonacci retracement of 23.6, and you've got this doji showing uncertainty. You know, it did manage to get down to 134, but the bulls fought back and made it all the way back up to the Fibonacci retracement, which was, you know, a pretty good sign of bullish market sentiment on, at least for this stock. So it did end up going back up, and you know, it's just been on watch just because of, you know, the Fibonacci retracement. This I didn't see coming, the gap up like that. There was probably some news I haven't even looked yet. But so far that one did pretty good. I'll probably end up calculating the overall positives on the ones that I do have a buy marker on there and see what the average comes out to. AOBC, if you remember, this is Smith & Wesson, or at least formerly known as Smith & Wesson. So I did put a buy signal right here. You know, I'm still convinced it's going to head back up. We'll see, especially if it manages to break through the 20 EMA. But the resistance isn't for like 2136 roughly. So if you bought like somewhere in here, let's say like worst case scenario, it's still 5% roughly. So it's still not too bad. If you ended up buying on this area, then even better. You're looking at roughly 7 or 8% over time. So this one's not doing too bad. What I do end up doing is when I put a buy signal, I typically, I'll put it near the top, just to give that, what do you call it? A different margin, because I usually tend to buy at the end of the day if anything does happen, because I like to see how the stock is developing. So I'll do the calculations at the end of the day in terms of the candle. ENDP, this one, I'm just constantly watching this one because I've got this feeling that it's going to come back up. Never base it on feelings, I know, but I'm just looking at this one just because it's good practice. And as far as volume goes, so I'm just trying to make some predictions based on volumes and what direction it's going in. So that's ENDP. I never really put a buy signal on this one. On this candle, especially with this doji right here, if you remember back, back then, like 3 weeks ago or something, I did think it was going to come back up, but God, I still haven't checked to see if there was any news that came out on this day, but whatever. Actually, I am curious. I'm going to look that up. ENDP. What was that on? Okay, so like the 12th of January, roughly. Man. There's always... Oh, okay, so it was a downgrade. So it's been having some downgrades, roughly. Okay, cool. Okay, so it is just a bunch of downgrades on their structures. Let's see. So, PFE, come on. Okay, so PFE, I did end up putting a buy signal here last week, and so far so good. Let's say you got it at the end of the day, you'd be up right now 2.66%. Now do bear in mind that this is one of those S&P 500, lots of volume, so volatility isn't going to be that crazy. So, don't expect some crazy amount of money making here. If you remember yesterday, I did talk about how I could see a little bit of reversal here, just because of this consolidation period here, this reversal here, and if you look at the history, there is a little bit of resistance here, so probably just gonna wait and see what it does. Hopefully it just keeps going back up, and we'll have to wait and see. But that's PFE. CNX was one of those that I was hoping to have be an example of the high and tight flag formation, but it didn't pan out, so I put a buy signal here, and then I put a sell signal because it was eventually rejected in terms of beating the high over here. So you got some longer pennant developing, but after 12 days they are typically very unsuccessful. Well, as far as success goes, it's drastically reduced. It doesn't mean it won't happen, it just means that the probability of it being a greater yield is reduced. GSAT, I did end up putting a buy signal there. And so far no profits. It kind of seems like the market direction wants to do a little reversal here, so I am curious to see what it does next week. But I'm still going to abide by this arrow, obviously, because you're not going to know where to improve if you start fudging the numbers. So HK, this one I didn't see coming. These two consecutive dojis, especially near this 20 EMA and this overall long-term trend line. I was really expecting this to just keep going, but these dojis just did kind of seemed like it wanted to come back up, especially being so close to this area. But looks like it was accepted-ish, and today it did meet the lateral line right here, lateral resistance right here for maybe a new channel development. So we'll have to wait and see what it does, but it kind of looks like it wants to do another reversal, and hopefully we'll meet it back down here for a greater profit margin. So this one's on watch. Crap, I keep forgetting to put like sell arrows. So on this day, sell, and I never put a buy signal on this one as far as this week goes, because I do remember saying that I wanted to wait and see if it could retrace back to the support line down here. So OZM is doing freaking fantastic still. You do have a little development of a pennant right here, or this consolidation period right here. So we'll just have to wait and see what it does. I am hoping for it to come back down in this region, get some better profit yields, but I highly doubt it with the associated volume here. I do presume that it would keep going up, especially it being so close to the 200 EMA. It could be a sign of a long-term or long-trend reversal. So, if anything, my suspicions right now, depending on the development of this candle, is that it would keep rising a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see if this starts descending like it is just now. We could get a doji or a shooting star doji, so we could get market reversal on this one. So yeah, it is pretty curious. I can't wait to see what it does. OZM. So that was OZM. Let's take a look at RAD. RAD was just one of those that I was watching for a rebound. Oh my god, and it did it. I forgot to look at RAD. I completely stopped looking at RAD. I forgot what it was. Shit. Well, anyways, I missed this one. God, I remember 2 days ago I was like, God, there's one that gapped down and I can't remember which one it was. Man. And it was RAD, and it was written down right here to watch for the rebound. And I totally forgot to put an alert on this one. Damn. Dude, these consecutive dojis too. Man, this would have been a great buy right here, especially on this candle. If it opened high a little bit, God, you would have looked at 6.27% over 2 days, and I just completely forgot to look at it. So that's my fuck up right there. I completely forgot about RAD, BBRY. But RAD, we're gonna keep on watch, see where it goes. So RAD, buy signal down here. You got these consecutive market bottoms, if you will, on these candles. So it kind of seems like it found its minimum price, at least for the acute period. And you can safely draw yourself a line right here. So depending on the development of this candle, my prediction is that it's going to come back down to this region, and for a buy option, and maybe we can meet this area for a 4% return of investment. So that could be pretty interesting. But with this full-bodied candle right here, I'm not surprised that it did end up going up. So so this is pretty interesting. I'm curious to see if it manages to break this double top, or if we're going to get a triple top here. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. If we do end up getting a triple top, it might turn bearish. What else we got? This is not officially on the list, but I brought it up. CBG. Yeah, CBG earnings report. Pretty good, it seems. Curious to see if you ended up buying at the end of the day here. So yeah, that's roughly 8%. If you look at the end of day to the end of day here. But, market's still open. NADL. This one I'm watching purely because of the potential for a reversal. Now I know you can't see it, but back here, it could very well drop down to this location if you do a price level here. Let's see, at the top of this day. So you're looking at this, and I'm actually going to make this green. So come on. So this is pretty interesting. Let me delete this. We don't care about this anymore. Not for now, at least. So Depending on the volume, especially late day volume, typically what I've been reading is that on Fridays people sell their stocks they don't like holding over the weekend, but you do have an earnings coming up on NADL, so I am curious to see what happens. Obviously, there was some news that would move this down like this, maybe some insider trading that pushed this down in this direction, but do keep in mind that this is a drilling company, so it's heavily influenced by a number of factors in the oil industry. So this is NADL. This could be a trend reversal that's waiting to happen. As far as I'm concerned, just looking at it, I bet it's pretty low on stochastics. Let's go to daily. Come on. So yeah, it's pretty low on the stochastic right here. So this could this could develop to be a pretty nice option here. Take it all the way to the top to this area, to the next support line, or depending on the Fibonacci, I'll do a Fibonacci on it, but you could see yourself getting 46%. If all freaking pans well, it could meet some resistance right here as well, based on this low. You just gotta watch out for that. So that's about it. I'll get the averages and probably put them in the description. We'll see what I do. Alright, see ya.